Hello, hello. I am Val Pancakes, as always, and joining me tonight on the stack, I have the Hornet himself, Freddie Hudson. You can see Freddie on his own or as part of Shooters Don't Die with Don't Die Miles and Ron Bass Jr. in Paradigm Pro Wrestling or New Wave Pro or Unsanctioned Pro, among many others. As well as if you go and look at the Black Wrestlers Matter 2 show, he's on that as well. So please welcome the Hornet, Freddie Hudson.
Hi everybody. How are you, Val?
I feel like I need like a round of applause, but there isn't one. So, uh, but thank you for joining me tonight. I was really excited that I got to interview somebody so, with such prestige and so legendary as the Hornet.
Thank you.
And when I put into the Twitter world that I was going to be able to interview you, I had a couple of questions come back.
Oh,
So yeah. So
okay.
before we start rolling, I'm gonna get into these questions from Twitter. Are you prepared for questions from Twitter?
Right. I've been prepared for decades, so let's see what you got.
Brilliant. So Jay asks, when will you pay the toll from Pennsylvania?
I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming because Jay has been bugging the hell out of me about this. Jay, to you, if you're seeing this, I will pay it after this interview. So you don't gotta worry about it no more because it's my fault for thinking that I'm gonna get there us in enough time by taking these tolls when they're a lot more expensive than the tolls down here. It'll be done after this interview.
I feel like you need to I feel like there's a story that goes along with this that we should maybe all be privy to.
Okay, so me as the vet I was being, the good vet, me taking in the young boy Don't Die Miles and the honorary management leader Jay, we decided to go to DC to check out the monument, but also check out a world famous promotion, Fight Club, where Trish Adora is champion at. And I was driving as the vet I was because, I got to let the young boy learn the knowledge of me, let him get the ins and outs of the business. So, and I'm driving, I had to go to the restroom and everything. So I decided to pull over. And I was like, maybe there was no gas station any close to where I was at. So I was like, maybe I could just go through the tolls and everything. And that was a bad decision. These tolls, trying to get to like Pennsylvania, just trying to get to DC is like terrible. Like they're way more expensive than like the tolls over here in Kentucky. And it's like, I'll never do it again. I hate it. I hate tolls in general. There's a reason why I have them turned off on my GPS and I would never turn them back on. $20. I now owe $39 for tolls that I've taken on like 4 of them.
It's a lot.
It is. I hate it.
Well, you should probably pay them.
Yeah, I definitely will. Pay your tolls, people. If you take the toll, pay your tolls.
So, an additional question from Twitter, from Papa Kenway. We all know and love Papa Kenway.
I think I know what this is before you even ask me. Is this about wings?
It is. He wants to know why you hate wings.
The thing is, there's good wings in the world and there's bad wings. Some places have KFC has terrible wings. Pub pies have terrible wings. Church's Chickens have okay wings. Indy's Chicken have good wings. Wings, okay, this is my thing. I don't like bone-in wings. I think bone-in wings are the worst. They're terrible. Like, why would you want a bone and a gristle on this bone when you could just have no bone in it and just have all the meat that you could just eat? Like, would you prefer bone-in wings or boneless wings?
Me personally,
Yes.
it's situational for me. I love a good bone-in wing, but I don't want to eat them around people because they are messy. So if I'm going to be at home on my couch, like eating takeout, give me all the bone. But like if I'm going to be out in front of people, boneless all day.
But wouldn't you like it though to have like if you're at home on your couch watching Magnum Pro Wrestling, wouldn't you like want to just have boneless so you could just you're not getting all messy? Or would you rather have mess all over your face because of the sauce from the wings?
When I'm at home by myself, I don't mind having it like be messy because I'm at home by myself. Like I don't have to impress anybody. Magellan doesn't care. So it's very I if if not for the mess, I would pick bone in every time. But it's not that way. And so when I'm out with people, boneless. Or chicken chunks, as they are sometimes referred to.
Okay.
Because they're
So
not
yeah,
really wings now, are they?
they're boneless. Chicken chunks are pretty much boneless because there's no bone.
Well, yeah, but they're not wings. They're
Yeah,
chicken chunks.
true. I'll give you that. But the whole theory behind this chicken wings is I don't like the bone. I'd rather have boneless 24/7 at B Dubs, Hooters. It don't matter where I'm going. If I'm getting chicken, I am getting boneless no matter what. And if I see Papa Kenway, there's a special request. Papa Kenway, I would like next time I see you, just boneless wings. I
Papa
love you.
Kenway is in the chat.
Oh, Papa Kenway, they are delicious. I love them. But please, for me, for the Hornet, we go way back, Kelly. We go way back. I know you for years. You make delicious food. Please have some boneless wings for the Hornet. Thank
That's a hot take there. Not very many people would pick a boneless wing over a regular wing. Um, the bone question though, does that like apply to all chicken? Like even like fried chicken? Do you not like fried chicken?
you. I do. I very much like fried chicken. But if we're talking about like chicken wings in general, like I understand if I'm getting fried chicken, there is chicken wings, so I have to eat it. But if we're talking about like little chicken wings, I'd rather just have boneless than bone.
Hmm. It says a lot about you. And I don't know like good or bad. It just, it says a lot about you.
It's good.
Eh. So, additional question from Twitter. Twitter was like popping off today when I was trying to push this interview. So that's good. People seem interested. Miles wants to know, when do you plan on collecting your cassette tapes from his house? He says they're taking up space and he can't learn anything from a radio broadcast anyway because it's not like he has a cassette player.
The thing is, Miles, I got you the cassette tapes so you can learn from me. These cassette tapes have years, and I mean years, back in 1865, the tour of 88 in Japan, the 96 in Hades, 84 back in wherever. I've been all over the world. He needs to listen to them. I personally have. This is actually for real. I have my very own cassette player. So the next time I will see him, I will give him this cassette player so he can listen to it because he needs to know what I've been through so he can become the best wrestler that he already is. He's already great, but he can be better. And I'm going to help him with the cassette players.
The other question I have for you from Twitter from prior to tonight, um, Billy says it, I guess, in addition to your wrestling prowess, you apparently are good at teaching people how to parallel park.
Yes, I am very, very. I'm a good driver. I think that I am a wonderful driver. I can parallel park frontwards, backwards. It doesn't matter. I can do what you see on Tokyo Drift and Fast and Furious, the spinning into the spot. I can do that as well. I have very key parallel parking skills. So Billy, you are welcome because I was one to teach her how to parallel park perfection. So whenever she takes her test for the first time ever, she will pass because I taught her the Hornet way, the parallel park.
Well, I hope that's not the Fast and the Furious way because I don't know that she'll be getting her license if she tries that.
Her mom don't gotta know. Her mom don't gotta know.
So, moving on to like our standard set of non-Twitter questions. However, if you do have any further questions, please drop them in the chat. They will be monitored by the group. I see chat's kind of popping off already tonight. Jay says that she hates you.
I love you as well, Jay.
And Ron Bass Jr. says, well, when you're the one who purchased the first ever automobile, you should be.
That's right.
You have much experience. And Chuck is fielding questions, so good to go.
Awesome.
So what was a young Freddie Hudson like? And you can, think back as far as you need to answer this question.
Man, I wish to have one of those memory bubbles with the sound effects that I can like just think back on my years as a young Hornet and everything. Honestly, like a young Hornet, Freddie Hudson, he did amateur wrestling in high school. He played multiple sports. I did 9 years of football. I did 8 years of amateur wrestling from elementary school to middle school to high school. And then I just enjoyed sports. Like I played a lot. Like I was never forced to do any sports and everything. I just wanted to. So I just continued to do it. And then I somehow found this crazy word of professional wrestling.
So how did you decide to pursue wrestling?
So in the very beginning, like after I was watching wrestling, like 5 or 6, I knew a couple of friends of mine from high school that I amateur wrestled with, and we were like on a wrestling team, so we were like very close and everything. So one of my pals ran a backyard wrestling federation, which is called EWE. This is before it became a legit company. It started off with that. We was in his backyard with like a trampoline ring, but there wasn't no trampoline. It was just the rings, metal bars and everything. So we were using that as like our ring. So we were like just using the backyard, anything that we could use. Like we have the legendary kids table that never broke. Somehow this table that never broke. Like if it broke, we just put it back together, and it's like nothing happened to it every time. So we did that. It started off onto Instagram, and then he kind of progressed it more into be on YouTube. And then he wanted to run shows in the famous Jeffersonville, Indiana arena. So he wanted to run shows in there, have us there. So he went there and talked to the owner, Two Step Tony. And Two Step Tony, my friend Josh called me up and said, hey, come to the arena. I said, okay. So I drove up there, and Tony was like, hey guys, I hear you guys want to run shows. Sal, you can't run shows because you're not trained. So Tony was like, I'll make a deal. If you guys get trained, pay your dues, and learn the techniques of in and out of wrestling, then you can start having shows. So a young Freddie Hudson started at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling Academy in Jeffersonville Arena in Indiana. And then he decided to get a LLC on EWE, which is now called Epic Wrestling Entertainment. And I just like it how like it started literally from just Instagram, and then it moved over to YouTube, and then it literally changed into its own like company. So to see it grow that fast in a matter of like, man, I don't even know, like years and years, like it's great to see.
So you said you trained at Grindhouse. What are some of the best things you learned while training?
I think the best things I learned about training was, I think, lucha libre style, because I've always like watched it when I was like a young hornet and everything. So watching it then was like pretty cool. 'Cause I watched it like on TV and all. And then I think another thing that was cool was like, I think just being in the ring was like a big eye opening, because taking like hitting the ropes that hurt, because it's not playful at all. Like you will get battered, you'll get hurt, you'll get bruised, you'll get like marks on your sides and everything or your back. But it was very new and odd and bumping. The first ever like back bump I had to take was, that was shocking, because learning to like just bump a proper way so you don't hurt yourself is like, what am I doing? Like, how did I get from just watching on TV to actually doing it now? Man,
So I'm also from Twitter, since we're talking about training. Billy Starks gave me a lead on you dressing like a clown at training at one point. So I feel like that's probably something you should share with the class.
yes. Well, thank you, class. Yes, I was one of the famous clowns of the Grindhouse Pro Wrestling. These legendary clowns were as a secret group that no one knew how to figure out. Like the other members of this group, like I won't give out the names because it's top secret, so I can't give out confidential information about that. But we were a specific group that nobody could not figure it out. They were puzzled, they were curious and everything, and we wanted to entertain the people, and that was our goal. We didn't tell anyone what we were doing. We decided to just entertain people, and I think we succeeded.
So there were other clowns beside you.
Yes,
Like,
there was three. There were three other people. There were four altogether. There were three other people with me, and I won't give
so
out the.
you don't have to disclose who it is, but are they people that are active in the indie wrestling scene today that can be seen on like IWTV?
Yes,
Okay, interesting.
yes.
And you're not going to tell us who they are.
No, I'll wait till after the stream to tell you. Billy,
Brilliant.
Billy knows for sure. She knows for sure who they are. But everybody else,
So, if you want to know after the stream, he's going to tell me, and then you can. I have Cash App, I have PayPal, and I have Venmo. And if you send enough, I will tell you too. I'm trying to get like this whole like back in the day they'd call like the 1-900 numbers and get like the dirt. Like we need to bring that back. Only not 900 numbers, just people PayPaling me for information. So, who has had the most influence on you both in and out of the ring?
um, I would say the one person who like had the most. Well, it's really two people, but like you can sum them up into one. The first person I would say is Billy Starks, because meeting well, it leads into Billy, but her dad, honestly, Mouse's Wrestling Adventures, Robert Bellamy Sarks. He's like I've been to countless shows with him when I was young that I learned a lot just being in the car with him and then seeing a young Billy Sarks before she even was in training, like wrestling. Because back then she was just a photographer as Beans Wrestling. So seeing her grow from age like I think like 14, I would say 14. I can't remember how old the kid is now because I my mind just go everywhere. So seeing her from like blonde hair Billy taking pictures of wrestler that you would never think of. It's great to like have those people in my life that anytime that I want to like come over and hang with them or talk to them about anything, I have that advantage and everything.
Aw, that's cute. So shout out to Billy, shout out to Mouse. Um, so what are your future plans and dreams? And that can be in wrestling, out of wrestling, however do you want to interpret that. And then what keeps you motivated? What keeps you going?
Um, my dreams after wrestling is um, I want to if I ever like retire from wrestling, I want to still be kind of part of it. So I want to learn how to do like production stuff. Like I've started like with like holding a camera in the beginning and everything, but I want to be able to like do more with it. So like create like vignettes for people or shoot like certain promos with them or do something with like the switchboard to like how to know to let the cue to time out for like commercials or anything, or switch to this camera A to camera B, or something anything with like production wise. Because I'm a big like video production mark, honestly, and everything. Because like that's I think that's just like there's so many things that I've watched like on YouTube or like in general that is like I want to like use that as like a certain promo that I want to do, but it's just finding a way that how I can make it my own. And there's like people that like even in wrestling today that like I watch and I watch their videos and it's like man, I feel like the time and effort they put into that is like I want to learn from them so I know like what I can do to make like myself better and everything. So that's what I want to do like out of wrestling. In wrestling, my main focus is to of course like improve and get better. But my big like goal is making it to Ring of Honor. That promotion like I've watched like live and on their streaming service. Like the first Ring of Honor show that I went to was at Nashville, Tennessee with Mouse because he invited me. So I was like, yeah, man, I'll go. And then we had Billy go with us. And then this was before she started wrestling, so she was still taking pictures. And it was like just watching their product was like awesome. Like I got to see um in Ring of Honor, they were the boys. They were with Dalton Castle. I saw them wrestle the Cardis, and I was like, that was cool because like while I was in wrestling, like I was seeing the Cardis like wrestle like almost like every week, or I would be in locker room with them, and then to see them like get to wrestle in like their own town in Nashville, to see them wrestle the boys was amazing. And then like I enjoyed the product because I understand like wrestling like TV business and everything, but I feel like they put the stamp and like emphasis on the wrestling part and everything. So that's my like future for like in wrestling is to get to Ring of Honor.
Right on. I think that I like Ring of Honor. And I think that you would do well in Ring of Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, what has been your greatest achievement in wrestling? And that can be like a title, or if you had a specific match, or some opponent that you like really enjoyed, like having a feud with. Like, interpret that however you want. Like, what has been your greatest achievement so far in wrestling?
I would say my greatest achievement in wrestling would have would have to be, man, let me think. I would say my greatest achievement in wrestling would have to be, if we're saying wrestling wise opponent, then I would say my Reed. Wrestling Myron was not once, but not twice, but three times was like, I think the big like step for me, because like I feel like people like wanted me to like wrestle a certain way, but like I was told by someone that's very important to me that like, hey Freddie, this is your chance. You're gonna be wrestling. You're going up against Myron, and Myron's like, to me, like Myron's someone that like I look up to, because even though we're like from the same city and everything, he's doing great things to where like that's where I want to be at, like in my like in wrestling, like at my level and everything. So I was told it was like, Freddie, it's either you make it or you break it. Like you either go out there and show what you really can do, or we don't know. And I was like, all right, screw that. I'm definitely gonna make it, and I'm gonna do what I got to do to like put eyes on me, because I knew I was kind of putting a little bit of eyes on me. I felt I wasn't getting what I needed. So once I wrestled Byron the first time and everything, that instantly clicked, and that made like work a lot harder to like put in more work than I have been doing now. And then the series of matches I had with Myron just had me elevate more and more and more. Because I know that like wrestling people who are like better than you will definitely like, even people that are on the same level as you and everything will make you like a better wrestler than you already are now. Like I feel like I'm good, but I'm not where I want to be at, honestly. Even though like I'm the horny and everything, like I'm very humble and everything. So like I want, I can't say I want to be the best. I feel like there's other wrestlers that like that are at that level and everything. I just want to be at that top tier level to where not like I'm getting booked everywhere, but like to where I have like that niche or like that confidence to like go out there and have like one of the like one of the best matches there and everything. And like it doesn't even matter like where I'm at like on the card. Like I don't care. Like even if I'm first or last or middle or second, or it doesn't matter. Like I want to like I want to have not like the best match on the card. Of course, I want to have that, but I want to have one of the matches that people like talk about, like whenever they leave, or like, oh, they'll like put on social media or so.
So, these matches with Myron, what company was that with? Is that like
That
on
was
IWTV?
that was with Paradigm Pro Wrestling, and you can see that on IWTV.
The award winning IWTV network.
Yes.
So, what has been the greatest obstacle you've overcome in wrestling?
Um, I think the greatest obstacle I've overcome in wrestling was, man, probably I think probably getting the confidence to like talk to people that's been in wrestling way, way, way longer than I have been. Because there are people that like I've watched like when I was like a kid that I didn't know to like how they would react to me asking them a question or anything. Like I know that people say like, oh, what do you gotta ask other people? But you never know if people want to be bothered or anything. Like you know if they're having a good day, a bad day, a sad day. Like you don't know what they're going through. So like to get the confidence to overcome like that barrier to like actually find like the time and like the right moment to like ask people to like for like critiques. Like even to this day, like even like after my match, like either I'm wrestling somebody or somebody that I know that's like in a higher position than me, like in wrestling, I will like always ask for like critiques or like advice just so like yeah, you can tell me about the good stuff, but I want to know all the bad stuff. So I know like what to improve on. Like there's like a lot of things that like I've tweaked in like my move set because either I know that like it's not going as what it was in the beginning, or someone told me like, hey, like maybe you want to try it a different way because you want to be protective like of yourself and the other person and everything. So I think just getting that confident to like talk to people like who are like in a better position than I am.
I mean, you've been wrestling for like, I don't know, 100 years or something, from what I've understood. So I
Yeah,
don't know who's still in wrestling that is potentially been in wrestling longer than you.
that's
But
true. That is true. I have been wrestling for 100 years, but even I'm not at the level that. So I could be in their position.
okay, I think we lost you partway through that. So
Uh,
if you could just turn that back a little bit for me.
so I want to, as people who are in a higher position, so I can be back and do better, so I can be in their position.
So like who do you in wrestling like look to as like, I don't want to say like heroes or whatever, that's a dumb word, but like who do you look for as like mentors? That's a
Um,
better word.
I would say, I think it's like two guys that I watched like the most. Um, One is Freddie High. I watched like a ton of his matches, and like I'm not really on a lot of shows of him and everything, but I do like ask questions or like certain like advice and everything, so like I know what I can do. And then the other person that I would say I get advice as well is Jonathan Gresham. Like I don't ask for advice, but like I see like the way that he wrestles and like the way that he wrestles and does things just by watching him is a lot that I can like take in and like take notes. Like his match against Freddie Hudson for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship was that blew my mind, honestly. Like, and it was from Ring of Honor, and I think it was like their anniversary show, I believe. And just watching that match and seeing like the technique that they were doing, like that blew my mind. I recommend anybody, like not even anybody, everybody, to watch Ring of Honor Freddie High versus Jonathan Gresham for the Pure Championship. I think that's by far one of the best matches like I've seen, and I feel like you're gonna see. And if people already seen it, just watch it again because it's great.
Match recommendations from the Hornet. I feel I feel blessed to be able to have such guidance. So moving on to something a little bit more like lighthearted and not wrestling based necessarily. Um, when you're driving, because you drive a lot, all y'all drive a lot. Um, what is some of like your best like road music? Like, what do you listen to on the road?
Um, I listen to it's either a pod. There's like two podcasts I listen to. It's either actually it's three. The first one is the Talk is Jericho podcast because it's Jericho and it's a great podcast. The second one is Anthony Owens. I can't think of the name of his podcast, but he's like a guy that I found on YouTube and social media that talks about like how to be in a better like living and financial position than you already are now. And then a the last one I would say is the 85 South show, and it is ran by three guys. One is DC Young Fly, Chico Beans, and Carlos Miller. These are guys that like they've been on MTV. They've been on MTV and they were part of a show called Wild and Out, which is like hilarious, I would say. Like I feel like anybody who's watched it know who they are, that they would definitely relate. So if you're a fan of that show, I would gladly recommend listening or watch on YouTube. They have a channel, the 85 South Show. And then music wise, I listen to uh J. Cole, Logic, Ari Lennox, um, Earth Gang, what else? Jack Harlow. There's a lot of people like that I listen to music. But I mainly listen to like R&B or like rap besides hip hop. What do
So
you listen to when you're on the road to go into shows?
I listen to a variety of things. I can
Explain.
listen. This isn't interview Val Pancakes time. This is
Oh,
interview Freddie the Hornet Hudson time.
I know, I know. But I just want to know
But
what you listen to.
but I listen to I like a lot of pop punk, emo music. I like a lot of stuff for musicals. I like 80s music. I love 60s music. I am kind of all over 90s music. I'm all over the map. I have a massive playlist that's like 77 hours worth of songs that I like, that I just put on and hit shuffle and just go. It's all songs that are upbeat for the most part that I can like sing along in the car with. That's what I like.
Nice. That's good. Now you have a recommendation from Val Pancakes on different types of music you can listen to.
My favorite sing along in the car song is Gloria by Laura Branigan. That is like turn it up and belt it type song. So that would be my song recommendation if you haven't heard it. It's from 1982. It's just fun.
It is. I've heard of it. It's good.
So moving on to more road stories. What is like your go-to like road snack?
Peach rings.
Peach rings.
Peach rings are my go-to roast snacks, and not like the apple kind or watermelon kind. Like the original peach rings are like the one to go for. If it's donuts, then it's road donuts because you know Mouse has road donuts, so why not follow one of the greatest Midwest photographers behind Dory? So road donuts. It doesn't matter. I think Mouse likes powder donuts. I like chocolate. So road donuts are the best. Peach rings, road donuts, and if it's drink wise, then I'm getting myself a Arizona tea. And it doesn't matter which flavor. It doesn't matter if it's grapeade, kiwi, strawberry, ginseng, honey, sweet tea. Like, just any type of Arizona tea is good. I've had them all pretty much.
Excellent choices. You can't go wrong with peach rings.
You can't.
Impossible. So, um, now who are your road buddies? Like who do you go on your drives with? Like who are your favorite people to go on drives with? Who would you put in the Hornet Wrestle car?
Okay. If I'm in the Midwest, it is, of course, my tag partner, Don't Die Miles. Of course, it's Jay because Why not, I guess. And he is part of a tag team called CM Square, Custom Made 2. Everybody follow Cameron Satter. I don't know his Twitter. Sorry, Cameron, I don't know it. But please, everyone, go follow Cameron Satter. He's a very good guy. I believe he's from the Kentucky area as well. He's from the Midwest, so he's a very good wrestler. Cameron Saturn, Don't Die Miles, and Jay for my Midwest card. Anywhere, anywhere. Like even if it's like even if Cameron's not able to make it, it's always me, Jay, and Miles because me and Miles are tag team. So why not just travel with your tag team partner everywhere you go? Like either if I have a booking, I know they'll come. Even if they have a booking, they'll come. Like I went to one show with him that I wasn't even booked on. And that was just because, one, I wanted to go, got nothing else. I didn't have anything for myself. And two, I just wanted to support my best friend. So why not just go?
Aw. So you guys aren't just like tag team partners. No, no, no. You guys are like besties.
Yeah, no, we're best friends, like legit. Like the stuff you see on Twitter and everything, it's not just like all jokes and everything. Like that's like actually for real. Like we literally play Xbox almost like every day. We haven't been playing a lot right now because I've been busy. But whenever we do have time, like we play Xbox all the time. Like either I'm at his house or we're like separated, and we're playing on our own and everything. Like we mainly play to NBA 2K21, and when we play NBA 2K21, either we're in the on my career through the rec, we are literally laughing our heads off to where we cannot breathe because we're just cracking jokes on whoever we're playing. Mainly, we play with Miles's brother that lives in Chicago. It's literally us three, and me and Miles always gang up on his brother and tell him that the reason why we lose is because of him, because he can't shoot the ball or pass the ball, or he just takes a shot and it just doesn't go in. It's like, what the hell? Like, it's your fault we're losing. Or we get mad because people can't be a center because they suck and they can't play. And we try to do our best, or the game just lags, and it's just that's the worst as well. If we're together, then we still play NBA 2K. We talk mad essay. We talk
You
mad.
you can swear here. It's fine, dear.
We talk mad shit to we talk mad shit to each other to where it's not where we're gonna fight, but like Jay is a witness. She's 100% proof. We yell not at each other, but at the TV every time we play because we're just so competitive. We get into it. And or we go play actual basketball outside. And he said that he beat me more than once. No, I beat him like countless times. Last time I remember, I beat him 10 times and he lost once. NBA is a different story. He beat me like 5 times and I beat him twice. And that's only because my controller kept dying
Mm.
or he kept cheating. And he knows that he does
Wow.
because he cannot play me. He cheats in NBA 2K. He can say he's the best, but he's not better than me. He cheats.
See, that sounds to me, just as an independent third party outsider looking in, sounds like excuses from you.
It's not. It's not an excuse at all. It is 100% not an
Oh, my
excuse.
controller kept dying. Oh, Miles
That's
cheats.
true. It does.
Those
He
sound.
always gives me the broken controller and it always dies. And that's why I lose. It's not because I'm bad at 2K, because I'm not. I'm one of the best. I'm great. I'm better than Myrene. I'm better than Alice Kane. I don't matter. I don't care who it is. I will beat everyone. I'm great. Okay. It's not because my controller died or that I kept losing. I'm good. Okay.
If that's what makes you feel better, then fine. We can go with that. But to me, it sounds a little bit like excuses.
I don't think so. It's not. It's all 100% the truth. And Miles knows it. Jays knows it. Ron Bass Jr. knows it. So Even Jay and Miles's cats, Dale and Kitten, knows it. They watch and they know that I'm the best because every time I win, they come to me because they know that I'm the king of NBA 2K21.
Except for when Miles beats you all the time.
He doesn't. Don't put that in the universe. He does not beat.
I mean, you said it.
I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I beat Miles all the time.
You just told me that he won 5 times and you only won twice.
I don't know what you're saying. I think your camera, like the audio, kind of messed up. I think you heard that, but really the truth was that I actually said was I beat him 5 times. He was twice. So next question.
You just next questioned me. To heck with you. What's your favorite city to wrestle in?
My favorite city to wrestle in. I would say Tennessee.
Tennessee is not a city.
Oh, sorry. Nashville.
It's fine.
Sorry,
okay, I'll take that.
Nashville.
I just didn't know if you were going to be specific.
Yeah. Nashville. Nashville's my favorite city to like wrestle in.
So I know that you mentioned earlier that Myron Reed has been one of your favorite opponents. Who are some of your other like favorite opponents been?
I would say one of my other favorite opponents would have to be my other tag partner, Ron Bass Jr., because we only had one encounter in Florida. Another one is Sir Knight Merrick Donovan. He's out of Florida as well. Soon, I don't know when, but it will be Carrie Awful. I don't know when it'll happen. Hopefully, it does happen real soon. But it will be Carrie Awful. Will be one of my favorites because that's one guy that I want to wrestle.
So, what have been some of? Because I know that you're, part of a tag team. So, who are some of your favorite tag teams that you faced?
I would say Bitcoin Boys. Awesome Odyssey. The Original Sins. And I don't know, there's not really a lot of I can't think of the other names. We don't tag a lot and everything. Either if it's like me or Ron or like me or Miles. If it's me and Miles, we don't like tag a lot. We do mostly like singles. We want to tag more. I think we want to tag a lot more, but like most people just look for singles, so that's fine as well. But I would say like if I would say it'd probably be like the Bitcoin. For me, I'd say the Bitcoin Boys. I don't know about Miles, but yeah, Bitcoin Boys.
I've seen them on IWTV and I got to see them at SCI weekend and they were absolutely fun to watch. So I can understand where you would enjoy that.
Yes, they are very, very loud.
yes, they are. That's a word. Indeed. So what is your favorite move to take and then what is your favorite move to give?
My favorite move to take, I would say, is a pile driver. Because why not? Because it's fun and it looks ugly. And my favorite move to hit is a standing slice bread. I think that's my favorite move because like I've done the same slice bread, but I never really like landed on my feet. So recently, like I think like a couple years ago, I started landing on my feet. So I was like, ooh, I'm gonna start doing that now. So every time I get lucky enough, I don't know when it will happen, but I might not land on my feet next time. But I get lucky enough to land on my feet once I hit the same size bread. It feels awesome to like have that moment to like, hey, I just landed this stuff. I just landed it on my feet.
It's more of like a point of pride for you that you're like able to accomplish something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then do you have any like pre-match rituals? Is there anything that you do before your matches?
Um, honestly, I just like stretch and like pop whatever bones I have to pop, just get loose. I would say. I think stretching pretty much for me. It's my pretty much ritual.
So if you had an action figure of yourself, but it was one of like the talking action figures where you like, I don't know, pulled a cord or hit a button or whatever, and it said like
Mhm.
phrases, what three phrases would you want it to say? And then what accessory would it come with?
Um, they, I'm sorry with accessories because the catchphrases would be great. The accessories it would come with my traditional baby blue, red, and white trunks and knee pad covers. Um, I would have a custom made satin jacket with the hornet on it. It would kind of be like a steak or bear jacket, but it doesn't have all the words on it. It would just have the hornet on it. Um, and the phrases it would say would um I'm the hornet. The second one would be um this is one from Miles, and he would definitely laugh. And I got it from him, so I'm gonna use it because of him. And it says, it goes, I'm a hot boy, I do hot shit. And the third one would be, this is also something that I say to Jay and Miles every time they leave their house, is did you feed my cats? And this action figure would be the one when you put the string on. So that's how it would be able to talk.
Fair enough. So you you don't have cats, but Jay and Miles have cats.
Yes, they have Dale, which is a black cat, very adorable, very cuddly, likes to be in your face 24/7. And then you have Kitten, which is an orange fat cat that is an asshole. Like it will try and bite you, or it will try to do like a little cat dance where like it's prancing on your chest or your face. Because it does that to me every time I'm over there at their house. And yeah, so every time I tell them, I call them, and I tell them 24/7, did you feed my cats? It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Did you feed my cats? Or 7 at night or 6? Doesn't matter what time. Did you feed my cats? And they say yes. Or Miles is like, yeah, man, I fed him twice today because Jay didn't do it. And I was like, oh, Jay, how come you didn't feed my cats? And then she always says, and this is, I quote, Freddie, shut up before I punch you in your stomach. This is what she says.
You know,
And
I've never met Jay, but she seems wonderful. And we're friends on Twitter. And I really hope that someday I get to meet her because she seems like a delight.
honestly, like all jokes aside, Jay is like a very great person. And I'm glad to like meet her along with Miles. I'm glad to meet them because they are very close to my heart. But sometimes she's mean. The Jackie comes out in Jay, where every time I call her Jackie, she wants to punch me. And that's the Jackie coming out because it's not her name.
Well,
It's not her actual name. I won't tell you her actual name. But every time I call her Jackie, she wants to punch me because it's a joke. So, Jay, your name is now forever Jackie. So take it or leave it.
Well, if she punches you in the stomach, then I know that you probably deserved it because you're calling her by a name that she's not, and you're claiming her cats as your own.
Because they are. Like, they
I'm
are.
fairly certain this is not the case. And Jay, if you see this, just like give him like an extra like punch in the stomach next time. Just for me.
Honestly, like, they're my cats. And did you say you have a cat?
I have a cat.
What's your cat's name?
My cat's name is Magellan.
Well, your cat is my cat now. So your cat is mine. Jay and Mouse's cats are mine. So I'm claiming those cats. You guys cannot say anything about me not claiming them because I have now officially claimed them as of today, August. What is it? The 16th,
18th.
7th, August
18th.
18th,
You're way off.
2021 at 10 o'clock p.m. And I quote, Jay and Miles and Val Pancakes, cats are mine.
So I will hit you up for cat support. And when you start paying cat support, then you can start claiming Magellan as your own. But until then, she's fully mine. And I would suggest to Jay and Miles to also hit up the Hornet for cat support if he's going to be claiming your cats.
Whatever, I guess.
I say to you. So, what is the weirdest request you've gotten from a fan as a wrestler?
Honestly, my weirdest request that I got from a fan, and this is honestly not even a fan. This was like from a wrestler. This is from Mae Young. Mae Young asked me if I could sign her arm as a tattoo that she's going to get on her right shoulder, and it says, "I heart the Hornets." And this is proof. Mae Young has this tattoo on her right shoulder. So if you ever research Mae Young, she has my nickname, the Hornet. I love the Hornet on her right shoulder as a tattoo. And I was like, why not? I love you, May. You're a great person. So why not?
I mean, that's just the legend of the Hornet, I guess.
That's right.
Because this was funny and it made me laugh. From the chat from the Bone Monkeys, he can't afford cat support. There's still outstanding tolls due.
I told you, Jay, these tolls will be paid. Cat support is not a thing. It's not real. So.
Oh, that's what you think, bud. Wait till you start getting those like Cash App like requests.
Yeah, you want to cash at me cat support money so I cannot pay these cat court fees, then please cash at me at capital F Hudson 15. But before the F, there's a dollar sign. Or you can PayPal me at Freddie Hudson 15.
So he can make his toll and cat support payments.
Exactly.
So what is the wrestling word that you use most outside of wrestling?
Boom. Boom is a word that I use like like outside of wrestling. I don't know why. I think just engraved in my
like that's not one of the typical like words that I hear or think of. Like usually I get gimmick. Everyone calls everything a gimmick. Or Me personally, I use popped all the time. Like, oh, that
Uh-huh.
popped me. Or my shoot name and my shoot job.
Yeah, I hear that as well, but I use boom a lot. I don't know why. I think it's just for wrestling in general. And yeah,
That's a different one. I did not expect that. Usually, I always get gimmick every time because everything's a
yeah,
gimmick.
exactly. Everything's a gimmick. these courts,
So
these court, whatever you're saying for these cat support things, those are gimmicks because those aren't real at all.
you just wait. Wait till we start all requesting cat support. So you've been around a minute. The legend of the Hornet is long and winding. So I know that you have to have some really good travel stories.
Yes.
Either something funny or exciting or something um, otherwise memorable. So drop a couple on me.
Yes. I'll start with the memorable one. I would say my memorable story is I have been in this for many, many decades. There's a time where me, Mouse's Resident Adventures, and the young Billy Starks, we are going to, I believe it's, we're going to Iowa for a pro wrestling revolver.
Okay.
And I think just being there was amazing because seeing all these people that like are signed or not signed was amazing to like even to be like in the locker room or like just to watch and everything was awesome. Like seeing like Shane Strickland before he left to WWE was amazing. Seeing ACH, seeing the best in the world, Larry D, who else? Ace Austin, Trey Miguel. I don't think the Rascals. I don't think MSK was there at the time. They might have been, but I'm not sure. But just being there in general was amazing. And that I enjoyed being there, and it was like a great moment to like be there. And I'll always like cherish that time because like all these like amazing wrestlers that I watch is like I'm like in their presence to like pick some brains, give some knowledge. They might want to learn something from me. I can learn something from them. I would
So
say, what did you say?
anything like anything like crazy happen while you're on the road? Like
Um, yeah. There was a time where me, um, Loki Havoc is another wrestler, and with somebody else. I can't. No, 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 not that. It was a time where me, Jeffrey John, gorgeous Morgan Taylor, and Sabin Gage, we were going to Florida for a show, and we left like that Saturday, like 12:45, like close to 1 a.m. on like Saturday. We were going to Florida for a show, and like that drive was like that was that like you know you got to do the drives, but that drive alone just grueling in general. Even though we like switched off and everything, like I think we had kind of like two deers on the highway that you got to like get out of the way because you don't want to hit a deer. Or another one was like this that same time that we were driving and we saw like this truck with like a trailer on the back of it and there's a tire on it and everything and somehow it popped off like I think it was laying on the trailer of it, and it ended up rolling off, and it was like bearing down the street. So it was like I'm driving, so I got to use my 1865 driving skills and get out of the way so we don't hit this tire. And I was like, what in the world? And it woke them up because they weren't expecting me to swerve so fast over. And I'm like, sorry guys, we almost ended up with a tire in my car.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to successfully avoid it.
Yeah,
I would have probably peed my pants, but that's just me.
yeah, I thought I did.
And then do you have any like funny road stories, like being in a car for that long with people of different personalities? Like usually like something like really ridiculous happens at least once.
um, let me think. Yeah, I got one.
And if you need to like not name names, you can do that if it's embarrassing for people.
Uh,
Or if you
uh,
want to just embarrass people, you can do that too. I really don't care.
no, no, I got one. Um, it was me and two other people. It was me, um, Coco Beware, and Norman Smiley. This was back in night like 1998, I would say.
So back in
And
the Hornets territory days.
yeah, pretty much. We were going to Georgia. Actually, we were going to Georgia for the show. And as we're driving, I pick up Norman Smiley, and we're on our way to pick up Coco Beware. And we stop at a gas station. We stopped at this gas station, and it's like me, Norman, and Coco. I call him Coco because why not? It's hilarious. He would always get mad at it. He would always get mad about it, but like that's his name. Why not call him by his name? So we go. This is like before like he was all like in his stuff and everything, and we weren't running late. We were like running like on time. So they were running aside. I put gas in the car, and they come out, and Norman like run. He's like kind of speed walking out of this gas station. I'm like, hey man, like what's the problem? Like why are you speed walking? He's like, man, you should gotta know. Like there's some crazy people in the gas station. So what are you talking about? And he was like, we're at this Bucky's, and it's like, what are you talking about? And it's like, oh, you just wait. Coco's gonna be coming running out. And I'm like, all right. So I'm guessing that Coco went inside to change into like his wrestling stuff because we had a meet and greet at like 4 o'clock. So he put all his stuff on. And there's like this old lady who was like trying to pull him back. It was like, oh no, what the hell is going on here? And she's like, I love you, Coco. Like, I want you. Like, will you stay with me? Like, he's like, no, like I gotta get going, lady. And she's like, she falling on the ground. She trying to like get on the car and everything. I said, lady, you gotta get down because we got somewhere to be. We're like an hour and a half away from where we gotta go. And it was crazy. Um, he's trying to get in the car. She's like, you know how like little kids like wrap their arms and legs around your leg. That's what she's doing. So it's me and Norman outside of the car trying to pull her off to like, hey, lady, like we gotta go. Like I know you want, I know you want this man. You can't have it right now. We gotta go. And she's like, well, can I have your number? And it's like, and I was like, hey, just give her a fake number. So he's like, okay. So he gave her this fake number. She said, I'll call after drunk. She said, I'll call you. It was like, wow. Like, can't believe that just happened.
That
Can't.
I'm glad that you were able to share that story from the Hornets legendary territory days. I wonder if that lady came to the show. I wonder if she ever realized that that was a fake number. I wonder if she still like harbors a little resentment for
Honestly,
Mr. Beware.
honestly, I cannot tell you. Like, I don't. I honestly cannot remember.
I'm sure you wouldn't
But
know the answer to those things, but yeah,
yeah,
question
I
not.
bet that she was very flattered to meet Mr. Coco.
So outside of wrestling, like wrestling aside, like what other hobbies do you have? What things do you enjoy doing besides
I
playing video games with Miles and losing? And
lose now. I don't lose. Val Waffles, I do not lose. Okay,
don't I don't know who Val Waffles is. She
that's your
doesn't
name
go
now.
here.
You're gonna change the pancakes and be Val Waffles now. Val Waffles. Everyone, I want you
Never,
not card
never, never on my
Val Waffles
life.
on Twitter. We'll make it a
No.
hashtag. We're gonna have it
Why?
#1 in the world. Val Pancakes is now Val Waffles.
Never
Like
gonna happen. It
it
would
will happen.
be if I had to change my name, it would be Val Crepes and then Val French Toast and then Val Bacon and then Val Hash Browns and then Val Home Fries and then Val just regular toast with peanut butter and then um, Val chicken fried steak and then maybe even Val omelet. I don't even like eggs, but even that would rank above waffles.
Well, it's gonna be trending, so just beware. You will now have to have your name be called Val Waffles.
I so help me if someone calls me Val waffles. Nobody call me Val waffles.
Yeah, I hope so. But what was your question?
What hobbies do you have outside of wrestling besides losing in video games to Miles?
Um, besides winning every single game against Miles, as I stand corrected, I would say one of my hobbies is like I like hiking. Honestly, like any trail that I can find like around my town and everything, I just walk it because why not just go? Or like I also like traveling. I want to actually travel more than I have been now. Like there's a couple places that I want to go back to that I haven't been in a while, but a couple places that I want to go to. Um, I also want to kayak again because I think that was fun doing. Because how many people can say that they've been kayaking? Probably a lot, but they've all been in Grace of the Hornet kayaking, so they can always just come.
Interesting.
Yes.
From the chat here, Vic says Val cold cereal. Yep, I would take Val cold cereal before I took Val waffles. Val grits. I've never had grits. I don't even think I would like grits, but I would take grits. Or oatmeal actually, and I don't like that either over waffles. I would take Val fruit cup. Now that you're thinking about it, Val sausage links, Val ham steak, or even like Val yogurt over Val waffles.
Not even Val mini waffles.
What?
Not even Val mini waffles.
No, Val no waffles.
Well, it's gonna be Val waffles by the end of this interview. It will be called
No,
Val
it won't
waffles.
be. This will never be Val Waffles. Val Pancakes already has a brand and a name and a logo. Val
You know,
Waffles is dead in the water.
it's still called Val snacks, but it's just with waffles and pancakes.
I don't like waffles though. I don't like them. They're like
Oh,
too crunchy and the
they're
syrup just
not.
stop. Now that we're here, we're doing it. Um they're too crunchy. They're not enough like softness to them. It's like eating a cracker covered in syrup. The syrup just floats on top and like drips all over. Like a pancake, it like soaks in and it's just nice.
No, it does
Waffles
not.
just off waffles just pools of syrup. Like I don't want a mouthful of syrup.
But that's what you're
Also,
getting with.
also waffles barrier to entry. I can't make a waffle at my house because I don't have a waffle iron. Anybody can make a pancake. All you need is a flat surface. You need a waffle, special tool. Don't need it.
But like, why would you have okay, yes, pancakes are good, but waffles are better
No,
because because when you're having a pancake, it's like it's not evened out. The consistency is not evened out. One side could be burnt, one side could be golden. It's like, why would
you
you
can
do
have that
that?
with a waffle.
No, you can't. When you're having
Yes,
a
you
waffle maker,
can.
when you are having like a waffle maker, or even if you know how to make a waffle and everything, it's not going to be burnt because it's going to be delicious and great. Yes, they have
Those
little
aren't a
buckets. That's
waffle.
why I called it the little divot hole. I call them freaking buckets because you know why? Because Waffle House has great waffles. With they hold enough syrup that is very easily condensed to where it's delicious, to where it's not going to get everywhere. With pancakes, you pour syrup on it, it just gets everywhere and it gets messy.
Soaks in immediately. I don't know what you're
No,
talking
it
about.
doesn't soak. It just drips off and it's just like,
Plus,
it's a mess. It
plus,
is a
you can put
mess.
anything in a pancake.
You can do the same for a
Waffles,
waffle.
not really, because you can't put a blueberry in a waffle.
Yes, you can.
I mean, they have to be very small, like because you otherwise the waffle iron makes them all funky.
You can do this. You
And
can
blah
put
blah blah.
you can put anything in a waffle, I'm pretty sure. I have a waffle maker because
Oh,
waffles are better than
you're a
pancakes.
waffle elitist.
Waffles are better than pancakes now. So
That's a whole ass lie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, what would you tell a 10-year-old Freddie Hudson if you could go back to your 10-year-old self, knowing what you know now? What would
Um,
you tell him?
I would say, I would
Waffles are
say
garbage.
no. I would tell my 10-year-old self that you're gonna be a great young man to always know that you have support with you, no matter what, whether it's family, friends, or like your peers. Know that waffles are better than pancakes. Um, to know that you have people that love you and care about you and want you to be the best version of yourself, and that you're going to be a great wrestler. You're going to travel the world. You're going to go through all the territories, go everywhere. You're going to meet all these legends, besides yourself being the greatest legend of them all. And you're going to be a great person. You're going to be a chill, relaxed, easygoing person.
Fair.
And note that you will always tell Val Pancakes that her name is now Val Waffles. And that's what I'll tell my 10-year-old self.
So, in case anybody doesn't know, I have very briefly interviewed Freddie before. Um, just very briefly when I was in Tampa for Mania Weekend. Um, so this is kind of a follow-up interview to like give him like time to really extrapolate on some of the questions that we maybe talked about in Tampa. Um, but I'm glad that we were able to hang out tonight. I still have a few more questions, but kind of wrapping up here with a few questions that I have, and then we'll have questions from the chat. I don't know if we have a lightning round. We might have a lightning round. I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Yeah.
But what upcoming shows do you have?
Um, this week I have UWC, which is called United Wrestling Coalition. That is in Homer, Illinois, and I am wrestling um, Sam Knight. I in 2019 at UWC, I was the Rookie of the Year, even though being the vet that I am. first time being there, I had to show them what I was all about. And I became the 2019 Rookie of the Year. I'm again, once I say I am rushing Sam Knight. The story behind me and Sam Knight is I've known Sam for a long time. He's been traveling all around. The thing is about Sam is I think he's jealous because I'm in Shooters Don't Die. Because honestly, he was supposed to be Miles' tag partner one time, but he got hurt. I don't know why he got injured. I don't know how. I can't
You
say.
beat him
I
up in
don't
a
know.
back alley.
Oh, I should have, but no, I didn't do anything. I wasn't. I wasn't there. So, something happened to him where he got injured, and Miles called me up asking if I can help him. Like he needed a tag partner, and then we were already friends back then, so we decided to like, yeah, let's do it. And then we decided to do the tag team, and now we are one of the youngest upcoming tag teams in wrestling. But I think that's why Sam's kind of upset, I would say, or grumpy or whatever. I don't know. He's old. I'm old, but he's old, I would say. But I just think he's kind of upset that I'm tagging with Miles. He's not. But I don't think that him and Miles will have the same compassion or chemistry inside the ring, outside the ring than me and Miles do.
So if not for Sam Knight being injured, you and Miles would maybe not be a tag team.
I can't say because me and Miles always done singles, like singles wrestling and everything. So I can't say if we ever would have been a tag team back then. But I'm glad, not that I'm glad that Sam got hurt, but I'm glad he didn't get hurt. But I'm happy that we came together, like even like as best friends to like let's actually do this tag team thing. And now we're tagging.
Good enough. So, next question. I'm sure you've heard this before because you, like myself, are a frequenter of Twitter Spaces. And this is a specifically space-based question. So, big shout out to Twitter Spaces, just in general. What is the biggest animal you could take in a fight with just your hands and no weapons?
No weapons.
No weapons.
That can fight any animal.
Yeah, the biggest. The
The
biggest one you think
biggest.
you could take if they were trying to attack you.
We're a sloth.
A
A
sloth.
sloth. A sloth.
Is it because they're slow?
Yes, they're slow. That's literally the purpose. They are big. I'll say that they are big. Like
They
not many people think that they're big, but they actually are. Like in real life, they're big. But I'd probably say a sloth because they're slow.
yeah, I
They're
mean
smart
they're like the
animals.
size of a medium dog.
That's still kind of big though. Like, are you
Oh
saying
yeah.
bigger? Are you saying like bigger than me, or
No.
just big in general?
No, I think a sloth is,
Yeah, got long arms. I can beat a sloth up. No weapons or nothing. I'll go full Nick Gage on the sloth.
heard it here first. Full Nick Gage on a sloth. So this is a very, especially after all of our previous conversation. This next one is a bit of a doozy because I feel like you're gonna have an answer
Mm-hmm.
here. How do you take your pancakes?
You want to know how I take my pancakes, Val?
Yeah.
Do you honestly want to know how I take my pancakes?
Uh-huh.
What I do is I take two waffles, I put the pancakes between the two waffles, and I eat it as I taste more than the waffles than I eat the pancakes.
The
Or
lies
I
that you tell
or
me.
or and I correct, or I cut it up into little pieces. I throw every other piece away and just keep a one corner piece and then eat that. And then I'm done. And then I'm still hungry, so I eat a waffle.
Doesn't really. I even wore like this is my first time wearing my Pancakes shirt on stream too, and you had to go and no sell me like that.
But you didn't say how. You just asked me how would I eat it. You didn't say like I'd eat the whole thing as it
I'm
is.
saying like, how do you take your pancakes? Like most people would say, I use butter and syrup, or some crazy people are like, I just eat a pancake dry. Some people are like, I like blueberry pancakes.
I gave you an answer. I said I take my pancakes in between two waffles, and then I add syrup and I eat it as it is. So that is my way of taking a pancake. That's my way of taking a pancake. It's a great answer I gave you. That's one of the best answers you will ever get on this.
You know, most people answer the question without being a waffle elitist about it, but here we are.
Here we are. I'm one of the greatest waffle elites ever in the world. I'm a legend and I like waffles. But I got the best of both worlds.
I don't really know how I feel about that.
Well, I'm sorry, but
I don't think that you are. I don't think
that
you are sorry. That's the thing. I don't think that you are.
I am sorry. It is what it is.
I don't think that you're sorry in the least bit. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I guess.
Because if you were really sorry, you would have answered the question, but you didn't. You just no sold the pancakes, put over the waffles. Terrible.
Okay, all right, Val. Just for you.
Thank you.
Just for you, I will answer the question.
Thank you.
I will take the pancake, cut it up into mini pieces, put syrup on it, and let it sit.
You won't even eat it.
I will go. Hold on. I'll get there. Then I will go to my fridge. Well, I'll go to my waffle mix, make the waffle. Make two waffles, like Waffle House style. Put the pancakes, one waffle, put the cut up pieces of pancakes, put the other waffle, put syrup on it, and then I'm eating it that way.
So you would essentially make like a pancake sandwich.
Yes, with waffles.
With waffle buns.
Yes, pretty much. That's how I'm
that sounds very elaborate. Do you do that every time? Do you do that every time? Is that special occasions?
But I should now. I'm going to do that.
If you do that and take a picture and send it to me or put it on Twitter, I would be both impressed and irritated all at the same time.
I'll post it on Twitter, and then if we're in a space, I'll put it in space.
Fair enough. Follow Freddie on Twitter to see his pancake abomination, and make sure to check the spaces. Spaces are a good time. So, final question that I have, and then I'm sure we'll have questions from the chat. I know that we have a lightning round. I have that confirmed. And anything else that you want to slander besides pancakes. So imagine, if you will, you're like hungry for something sweet and delicious, and you're like, I want a cookie, right? So you go to the store and you go to the cookie aisle, and you're like looking at all the cookies, and you're like, you know what I want? I want America's favorite cookie. I want an Oreo. And you go and you're like, I don't want any of like the fancy newfangled like flavored Oreos. I just want like a regular like chocolate cookie with cream Oreo. And you're down to, so you narrow it down to chocolate cookie and cream, but you still have options, right? Because you can always go with single stuffed or double stuffed. So which would you pick? Freddie the Hornet Hudson, would you go with a single stuffed Oreo or a double stuffed Oreo?
We're gonna go with mega stuffed Oreo.
Oh, had to be difficult. Going with the mega stuffed. Now that is the unofficial correct answer to the question of do we want a single stuffed or a double stuffed Oreo is indeed a double stuffed. I don't know why you'd only want one layer of stuff. I want a lot of stuff. I will concede mega stuffed does not really answer the question, but I will give it to you as it is a better option than a single stuffed Oreo.
Yes.
So, gentlemen's, and that would be Chuck or Chris. Do we have questions from chat?
Oh, yes, we do have questions for chat. By the way, I think now trending on Twitter is hashtag Val Waffles. There's
Yeah.
there's a lot of traffic on that right now. I think I put it in after Freddie said that, I put that in every tweet that I sent out promoting what's going on right now in our
Yes.
Twitch here.
Yes.
So, Val, I'm sorry. Or, I mean, we're going to have to get you some waffle paraphernalia as well to add to the pancakes. I see Val is like checking Twitter to see what's going on right now. Okay, but we do have some questions from the chat, and then we will go to the lightning round. So let's see. Question one from the chat is from Vic. He's got a couple in here. He wants to know what title that you've won has meant the most to you.
I would say the title that I have won that meant the most to me I would say be the Paradigm Pro Wrestling World Championship.
Nice. Now, are you getting that back anytime soon?
Honestly, I don't know. That's what I'm gunning for. I know right now, Sugar Dunkerton is running for that, but I honestly don't. It doesn't matter like who wins. It's either Myron or Suge. That's what I'm coming back for. Like I want every championship belt in Paradigm. That's my goal, is to win every championship belt in Paradigm. Then I could be the first ever Paradigm Pro Grand Slam champion.
Nice. So we're going to keep the questions going with Paradigm. And Old Bald Guy wants to know that since you work with Paradigm a lot, what is your opinion on the UWFI rule set?
Honestly, it's like, honestly for me, I like the UWFI stuff. It's a little, like when I first started, it was a little confusing because I wasn't all the way like knowledgeable on it and everything. So I had to like do my research and everything. But I like it. I like the score system. It kind of reminds me of like when I did amateur wrestling back then. So I kind of had that skill set to like fall back on my amateur wrestling in my back pocket. And then like the people that like you can match them up together that you never thought you would see, like Yo-Yo and Akira, or Alice Kane and me, or me and Phoenix Kid, or I would say, or Robert Martyr and Matthew Justice. Like the pairing that you can put together, like the styles and everything is great. So I enjoy it.
Is there someone that you specifically would like to face in a UWFI bout?
I actually have two people. One is Robert Martyr, because that kid's badass. So I want him. And I honestly want Freddie High.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think that's the main one.
That would be interesting. So we're gonna keep it with the up and coming wrestlers. You talked about Robert Martyr, who, if anybody in the chat doesn't know already, just won the Action Futures. I don't know, last weekend or weekend before. My time frame is all screwed up since I came back from that. But Vic also wants to know who are some of the up and coming wrestlers that you like to watch?
I like to watch, of course, Robert. I also like to watch Billy. Um, I like to watch Damian Tangra, um, Eli Knights. I'm really high, like on. That's not bad, but I'm really like a high on Kevin Ryan.
Oh,
Like
Interesting choices.
I think he's really good. Like honestly, like he's one person I watch like on Action Wrestling.
now did you see? You mentioned Damian Tangra. Now, did you happen to see Damian Tangra's just about spot on impersonation of Kevin Ryan?
That was so hilarious. Like I cracked up. I had to watch it like 4 or 5 times because I was just so like that was so hilarious. Just impersonating Kevin Ryan, and it was just like it was hilarious. I would definitely watch it again. Like everybody, please go watch Alex Kane and Damian Tegra's promo. I think it's on Alex Kane's Twitter account. It is hilarious. it's great. Like God, it was so good. I can't
Oh,
get enough of that.
so funny, so funny. Okay, we are going to, since I asked about the UWFI match, Papa Kenway has a double question. I know we Val might have touched on it earlier, and it's the question that everybody always asks and wants to know. But is there a dream match that you have for yourself right now today that you want to have happen?
um, yes, I want to wrestle today. I think Lee Moriarty.
Okay, nice. Now his second part of that question is same thing. We're talking dream match, but he's opening it up to anyone dead or that is not currently wrestling anymore.
Um, I would say probably X-Pac.
Really? Now
Yeah,
Oh,
X-Pac.
I will have to ask why.
Um, I just like X-Pac's like style, and I feel like he's like a funny person in general. Like honestly, but like I feel like he's really good.
Okay, I that is good with me. Okay, now we're gonna go over to a friend. He's a friend of the Bald Monkeys podcast. He's a friend of yours as well. You did kind of throw him under the bus in regards to some of the gaming questions that were going on in the conversation. However, Ron Bass Jr. wants to know, is groovy truly one of your favorite words?
Yes, I say groovy a lot. I don't know why. I think just I used it for so many years that I just it's either groovy or Gucci. I use groovy more than anything because why not? And I think yeah, groovy, definitely groovy. I use groovy a lot. Ron
I
could
think
definitely.
Ron, yeah, I think Ron brought that up when Val asked about the sayings that your action figure would want. He goes, "How is groovy not one of them?"
Yeah, it should be. But yeah, groovy's definitely one of them. that I do use a lot, even through like text message.
Okay, so we're coming down to the end of August. Summer's almost over. Schools are starting up again. Kids don't want to go back to school. We're getting into the fall months. Stores are getting inundated with pumpkin spice crap all over the place. However, we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about Halloween. And it's Urka wants to know what you are going to be for Halloween. And we're also going to ask Val what she wants to be for Halloween.
Honestly, if I would say let's see, who would I want to be? I want to be Teddy Long for Halloween. I want to be the great Teddy Long, so I can tell random people in the streets, holla, holla, holla.
You're wrestling the Undertaker, playa.
Yeah. They were like, what? I was like, you just gotta know.
And Val, what about yourself?
So,
A waffle.
I will slap you.
Love it.
Jay, if you punch him in the stomach for me, just one more for Val Waffles. So I'm not a big dresser upper for anything really, and I don't do dressing up for Halloween. But the last time I was forced into a Halloween dress up, and if I were to be forced to do it again, I will be Pearl Hebner. It's like Earl Hebner, but a lady. So I'm Pearl Hebner.
I like it. I like it. And I'll answer the question. I will be a tried and true captain and bring out the Captain Morgan pirate outfit for Halloween.
You're going full pirate?
Full pirate. Full pirate. Maybe
I need to see photos.
Maybe on the Bald Monkeys Twitter account, I will throw out the Captain Chuckles in the Captain Morgan Halloween outfit.
Halloween this year is on a
Friday?
Is it on a Friday? No.
I don't know.
It's on a Sunday.
Now you're making me. Oh, Sunday. That's no good.
No bueno.
No bueno.
But that tells me we'll probably be streaming the Wednesday before, which would be the 27th. So if you could stream in full costume, that would be pretty cool. Just saying.
Okay, we can work on that. We'll have to get some sort of spooky or kooky guest for that Wednesday. We'll have to figure this out. We got time to plan.
I can think of some people that we could probably tap for that. I think that would be really fun.
We got some time to plan. Okay, back to questions from the chat. So we're going back to Vic and Freddie. He wants to know, who do you think has the best wrestling name today?
I would say that's a hard question. There's a lot. I would probably Big Beef.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, who do you think has the best wrestling name ever? That's an even tougher question.
Yeah. Man, I would say Daniel Makabe.
Oh, okay. Now why?
Yeah.
Um, I think it just fits him like personally and everything, and it works for like what he does. He's a really good wrestler. Like when I watched him at I think it was 2019 SCI. He was in the SCI tournament,
Yep.
and like I think he hooked me like right as like just from like his wrestling. And it was amazing. Like I never had to see him wrestle like live in person. I want to. It'd be great. I always caught him like on a stream. So I think that's like cool. I think him definitely.
Nice.
The comedy
Okay.
is great. You
He
should
is.
watch his match with Damien Tangra from TWE the night before.
I
When is
will.
that going up? Do we know
It should. I think it's already up. I think it's up
it's already
today.
up? Okay.
Yeah, it's already up.
So there you go. Everybody, get on your IWTV. If you haven't, go sign up. Use Paradigm as the code. Paradigm will get some extra love from you. So if you're not part of IWTV, what are you waiting for? Do it. Do it now. Now the next question. It's a loaded question. We've had answers that run the gamut of history. We've had wrestlers going up against good guys in history. We've had wrestlers picking bad guys in history. But the question is, if you could fight any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Any historical figure?
Yeah, so it could be like you versus Ben Franklin in a kite match.
Oh.
I
Uh
mean, it could be Albert Einstein. It could be you against Picasso. Anything. Genghis Khan. We don't put any restraints on what historical figure it could be.
okay. Um I'd say it would be me versus man. Me versus Abraham Lincoln in the battle of the beards.
I knew you were gonna say Abraham
Ooh.
Lincoln. Absolutely knew it.
How did you know?
I don't know why. I just really assumed you were gonna say Abraham Lincoln.
Now
Me,
is that gonna be like a stipulation match where if the loser then has to have their beard shaved?
yes, it would be a uh shaver on a pole match. And it
Love
would
it.
be on top of the Grand Canyon
Oh wow.
with a ring.
And a setting as well. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Christopher is on the couch right now. He's chilling. We're not going to make a run upstairs to play the intro to the lightning round. For everybody in the chat, if you've been here before, you know what the intro looks like. It's a whole bunch of
Visualize.
lightning. There's a whole bunch of questions that are coming across the screen. But what I want to know right now, Mr. Freddie Hudson, are you ready for the lightning round?
Yes.
10 questions as fast as you can. First thing that comes to mind, that's what we're looking for. Here we go. Question number one. What are two things on your bucket list?
Uh Traveling to Jamaica again and going to Hawaii.
Favorite summertime activity?
Swimming.
If you had a yacht, a boat, or some type of water vehicle, what would its name be?
Betsy.
Your least favorite beverage?
Unsweet tea.
You have a dream home. Is that dream home at the beach, in the mountains, the big city, or the middle of nowhere?
Big city.
Are you afraid of anything?
No.
You have a superhero power. It's either invisibility or super strength. Which do you choose?
Invisibility.
Cake or pie?
Pie.
A scale of 1 to 10. How good are you at wiffle ball?
9.
Number 10, at a sporting event, is it ever okay to participate in the wave?
Yes.
And special bonus question. This was from the chat. I think it's Urka said it's the lightning round. There should be some sort of electricity question. So the bonus question is, Freddie, do you know what AC/DC means?
No.
Val, do you know what AC/DC means?
I am going to take a shot in the dark on this. I'm reasonably, it's a reasonably good guess. Is it alternating current, direct current?
Ding, 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 ding. You are correct. Val Waffles, you are correct.
I don't know who she is. She doesn't go here.
I'm glad Val got it because we might have had to go to Chris to see if he knew it. And he's chilling with the cat on the couch. And I think Chris, just let me know. Do you want Freddie to give you catimony as well, or I don't know what else was going on in the chat about
Cat support,
that.
yeah.
Cat support. Chris is just going to go, yes, he wants some cat support. Okay, that's the lightning round. We are finished. You have survived the worst part of this entire interview. The lightning round, it is over.
No, I'm fairly certain the worst part of this interview was the whole bullshit with Val Waffles. That was the worst part.
No, that's the best part.
I would have to agree with Freddie that was the best part because there was so much going on in the chat at that point in time. It was crazy. I mean, with all the different Vals that it could be, Val grits, Val chicken and waffles, Val omelet, Val poached egg. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic.
Well, only because there are 1,000 other things I would be before Val Waffles. I would be Val Smoothie before. I would be Val Protein Shake. I could be Val Granola Bar. I could be Val Scrambled Eggs.
You don't like eggs, but you like waffles.
I don't like eggs, but I would pick them prior to waffles.
Man, your hate for waffles goes so deep. It's like Vic says Val refried beans.
Better than I'd be Val Huevos Rancheros before I was
okay.
Val Waffles.
Is there anything that would be below waffles?
I mean, there are things that I won't eat. Val sushi, for example, would be probably below Val Waffles, but as a breakfast food, you know what else would be before Val Waffles? Val cinnamon rolls. Val cinnamon rolls would be top tier. That's right under pancakes for me. Val Waffles is just the last breakfast food. You know what? There is one thing that would be below Val Waffles as a breakfast food item, and that is Val gravy. Gravy is disgusting. Never would eat gravy.
What?
Not even business and gravy?
Nope. Gravy is gross. It's thick meat juice. I don't need to eat it.
Whoa. Now, time out.
Yeah.
So hold on. Now I don't know, Val. I don't know what your favorite holiday is. One of my favorite holidays is Thanksgiving. That's because I'm a fat man and I love all that stuff. Freddie, what's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Okay, I can get down with that. I love Christmas too. I like to get in the spirit. I mean, my retirement plan is to be Santa Claus because with the beard and it going white and everything. That's my plan. But Val, are you saying like at Thanksgiving or Christmas, like you don't put gravy on like your turkey and mashed potatoes and
No. Why would I
like
ruin any of my other foods with gravy? It's
Because
disgusting.
it makes it better. It makes
No,
it taste a lot.
it's thick meat juice. It's gross.
It
Ugh.
makes it
I don't like
better.
soup either. Valve soup right out.
Not
Never.
even chicken. Not even like tomato
No
soup or
way.
chicken
I don't
noodle
like
soup.
soup. I don't like hot beverages. I don't like hot liquids, and I don't want to fish around in thin meat juice for food I actually want to eat.
What about hot chocolate?
If I'm sick and have a sore throat, then I maybe will do a hot chocolate.
what?
Wow.
You are absolutely bonkers, Val. Not
Oh.
even hot chocolate.
Oh, my food things could that's a whole stream. Thank you, Vic, for also not liking gravy.
I don't know, but back to the waffle thing. I gotta ask Freddie his opinion on this. So a while ago on like one of the diners, drive-ins, and dives, Guy Fieri went to this place in like upstate New York somewhere, and it was all waffles. They would make tons of different kind of waffles.
Sounds
They
awful.
did a Thanksgiving waffle that was made out of like the base was stuffing, and then they put turkey and mashed potatoes and like anything else that you wanted from Thanksgiving like on top. Would you be game for that?
Yeah, 100%.
Hell yeah.
That's on you guys.
And I would put it on Twitter and I would tag Val in it and say like, this is what you're missing because it's all about waffles.
And I'll be like, I don't care because that sounds terrible.
Oh well, Val.
Oh,
Waffles.
bagels are delicious. Whoever asked, I like bagels.
Oh, what's your favorite bagel? You guys.
So, for me, I like to go to Panera and get a cinnamon crunch bagel, and I eat it plain. I don't put anything on it unless I'm feeling really like saucy about it. I might put on applesauce.
I like raisin bagel.
I mean, that's basic and fair.
I'm with Freddie on that one. Raisin bagel, toasted butter. That's the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way to go. Okay, Val Waffles. It's back to you.
I don't know who she is. She
I'm
doesn't
done.
go here. I hate you,
The
Freddie.
voice in the sky is done for now. Freddie, thank you for joining us tonight. Val, I will let you take it the rest of the way home. And thank you everybody in the chat for hanging out. Christopher, thank you for modding through the cold that you have currently.
And thank you to everybody in the chat. I see that we had a hype train earlier, so thank you to everybody that contributed to the hype train. That's so awesome. Anything that you contribute just goes into our sponsorships for different promotions. I know that we sponsor Action, we sponsor Leapfrog. I'm sure that's not all. There's so many things that we're trying to support independent wrestling. So everything that you do for your subscriptions, for your bits, all of that just goes right back into sponsoring shows, and so that we can keep doing the things that we're doing, because I love independent wrestling, love it with all of my heart and being, and I wouldn't be near in the place that I am now without all of you guys, and without the Bald Monkeys. Chris and Chuck have been wonderful to me, and all of the wrestlers in IWTV, everything. It's enhanced my life to such a degree. Like, thank you so much for giving your hard-earned money to us so that we can pass it on to these guys and gals and non-binary pals. On that note, this has been The Stack. I'm Val Pancakes. This has been the Hornet Freddie Hudson. Make sure to follow him on Twitter and Instagram. And I think you said you had a fan page on Facebook. Is that correct?
Yes.
But no OnlyFans? No Patreon?
No.
Okay. I just like to make sure. I just don't know.
No OnlyFans, no Patreons, none. But I will say, also follow my other two friends at Don't Die Miles and at Romback Jr. Also, catch TWE on IWTV and watch Romback Jr. versus Tank. Also, this was just released by Unsanctioned Pro Wrestling on their YouTube page. I think they're going to stream their most recent show tomorrow. I don't know what time, but also watch a wonderful match, Don't Die of Miles versus Christian Robinson round 2. They had a round 1, but they now have a round 2. Whilst that match, it was a banger. I would say I think the kids say banger. I think so. But that was a great match. Also, just support wrestling. Like, the fans love wrestling. We love wrestling. Let's all enjoy it together.
Sorry, I was asked a question about a raid and I have no idea who's. I mean, if Shay's still streaming, Shay's probably a good one, but if he's not, I have no idea who's a sports streamer. So
that's
also,
the same thing I said to Christopher.
So and good luck to Freddie as you wrestle for the United Wrestling Coalition on Saturday. And you told me before that will be on the United Wrestling Coalition's YouTube page at some point after the event.
Yes.
And before I go, also make sure to stop by tomorrow because we're doing a sidecast watch along of the Action Wrestling's Benefit for Southside Support. It is premiering on IWTV tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So fire up your IWTV. We'll be firing up our IWTV. And you can listen to us react to the show as it is premiering. I don't know if it's going to be me and Chris and Chuck or what the configuration will be, but somebody will be here. We're going to be talking about Action, and we may have special guests that pop by. You never really can tell. So stop in tomorrow while we do that. And then just another big thank you to the Hornet, Freddie Hudson, for letting us sit under the learning tree tonight and take in all this wonderful information. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you just want to hang out for a second after, so we can just wrap up.
Yeah. Well, I say thank you for having me. Support wrestling once again. Also, support waffles. Not pancakes, just waffles. Thank you.
Fuck waffles.